Hi guys, so this is my first video and I'm sorry my eyes keep looking like in the wrong direction of the camera, but anyway, disclaimer first, this video is about being trans, probably you can tell from the title. I don't support, well I do, but in terms of people having a discussion in the comments, which probably won't happen, but if it does, I support all views on this. Some people just don't believe it, and that's fine, that's their view. Everyone just needs to be respectful of the different views. But this isn't a debate video. This video is going to be about under 18s going on blockers, and not an opinion, because I am 16 and I am going through the process of going on hormone blockers which halt your natural puberty. There are more issues around that, but I'm not covering that today. Today is just my experience of going and things like that. I am not actually on these, but first I would like to cover my consultation. So on July 16th, I went for a consultation at Leeds, where they do some medical testing to see if you are physically fit for the hormone blockers. So I had to travel quite a long way. I know a lot of people do. It's very normal to have to, but I had to travel all the way to Leeds. And it's not as intimidating as people think, you know. They're very good at doing blood tests. It doesn't hurt a lot. And before you say, oh, she's just got a high pain threshold, I don't. Literally, like, Jessie here does not like needles and stuff. So it wasn't great, but it was what I felt I had to do. So you just sat there and they just, yeah. But the education is first. So I arrived at, like, half an hour early, actually. I arrived at 10:30. And then they start the education at 11:15, at least for me. It's shorter than usual unless you ask a lot of questions. So what they did is they sit you down, they go through a PowerPoint. I knew most of the things on the PowerPoint. If you're a trans man, not me, I'm sorry, there are more side effects for you. But from my point of view, the side effects I know about are mostly sexual. Sorry, I hate saying that word. But they are mostly things to do with the function sexually. So, you know, there's that. But I'm 16. There was a few people younger. So if you're younger, shouldn't really be a concern of yours. If it is, then we live in the real world. 14-year-olds do that. But never mind. But for me, they were all positive side effects, you know, because I'm not interested in that area personally. I just don't want it to exist. It gives me massive dysphoria. So I was really happy about that. Things like hair growth slowing down and, yeah, just what you'd expect really is you are just going to become less masculine. It's not as extreme as HRT. So, yeah. And if you are under 18 on the NHS, they want you to be on blockers an entire year before you start HRT. Now, if you're 14 or under 16 at all, and you start blockers, and in a year you're still under 16, there's a no. But say you're 15 and you go on blockers, in a year you can go on HRT. Now, if I'd started blockers a year ago, I could go on HRT, but because I didn't, I can't. Next, I'd like to talk about parental support. Now, I don't want to talk about my personal situation too much, but it's been very difficult for my parents, and I rate that for them, you know. Yes, it's been very tense, but you have to understand it's very hard for people to come round to such a massive life change. So, if you're under 16, it's very hard to get this treatment without parental support. It's possible if you show a lot of competence, but I waited until I was 16. There was a lot of miscommunication there. That's the thing. You need to be so... I understand completely that you are in an emotional rut, but you have to be very with them what you want. So you say, I want to go on blockers, I don't care what my parents think. Because that's hard, you know, but you have to be honest. So yeah, anyway, sorry, this video is a bit all over the place, but I haven't been able to find any on the internet, so I just wanted to help other people out there. But, so you have your education, then you go to a drop-in for your blood test, so no set time. So the education said they'd finish at 1, they finished at 12:20, so I had ages to go up, get my bloods done, get it out the way, and then you have your bone scan. Now, it's not that bad. As you can tell, I'm very movementy. You have to stay so still. And when they say no metal in your clothing, they flipping mean it. I had to stop halfway through because I had metal in my joggers, and it was like, But yeah, so I would just wear the gown. It's hard, yeah, you have to sit there and take your bra off if you wear one, or if you have metal in your binder, take your binder off. It's not great, but it is what it is. You just sit there, you don't really see yourself. Just have a little daydream, but focus on staying still. That'll take like 15 minutes-ish. Then once that's done, I just went back home. In terms of emotions, it's really not that bad. It's not harrowing. I didn't feel very sad or anything. I just felt like I was getting what I needed. It wasn't as hard as what I thought it would be. But then again, they didn't do anything other than blood test and bone scan. Next time, which I'll make a video for you guys if you like this one, is they're going to do a physical assessment, which for someone with gender dysphoria is awful. But it is what it is. Anyway, so yeah, it's a pretty short day. Well, with travelling it's not, but it's not as massive as you feel it building up inside. But yeah, emotionally, it's okay. You're actually surrounded by people really similar to you. And one of the PowerPoints they give, this is the last bit I haven't mentioned, sorry, is on fertility. Now, blockers will stop your fertility when you're on them. If you go off them, it won't. But a lot of people don't want to go on them and then off them. So 80% of people go on to HRT, because the fact is most teenagers are sure. You still have to be careful though, because you are very young, but it's highly likely you will not go off these blockers. You will go on to HRT, then that's it. Your fertility is done. So, however, they do also say, it's a bit confusing, they also say it's not a contraceptive. So yeah, I don't have to worry about that, because my who I'm attracted to and what I am does not procreate. But anyway, yeah, so there's that, and they talk about that, and funding is a bitch for that. It's a postcode lottery. You need to go to your GP, and they never know what to do. You just have to say to them, refer me. I need to do this before I get on the blockers, if that's what you want to do, to store your fertility. If you're my age, if you're younger, you might not be able to. It's something you've got to navigate yourself, but I'd say it's really worth thinking about. So yeah, but also the final thing is they say to you, make an appointment with your GP to try and get a prescription from them, because it is a once a month thing, and I'm just here like, get my period finally. It's not a period, but it just makes it easier for me to think of it like that. Anyway, so yeah, to get a prescription from them, because if you don't, you'll have to go to Leeds every 28 days, which, if you live in Leeds, yeah, that's fine. If you don't, it's a bitch. I don't want to do that personally, because I live quite far away from Leeds. I'm not going to say where, but yeah, so that's definitely a consideration. So yeah, get an appointment with your GP, talk about fertility, getting funding for that if possible, if that's what you want to do. And I would always say try and leave that option open, because people are like, I don't want kids. I'm like, you're a teenager, of course you don't want kids. You might when you're 30 something. And then secondly, I'd say go, you know, you've got to talk to them and say, please, please, please prescribe it, because it's not actually prescribed for that purpose. It is safe for that purpose, relatively, but it's not prescribed for that purpose. So you need to know your stuff, ask all the questions when you go that you need to know, and if you forget, you get a card, always ask them, so you can talk to your GP and make them feel confident, which I haven't done yet, but when I have my GP appointment, I will let you guys know. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Sorry it was all over the place. I'm not great at this, never really wanted to do YouTube, but I hope this has been helpful, and see you in the next video.